Ahoy, gentle people. Uh, yes, there is a gentle person there behind me. Look, that is a gentle person. Yes, there you go. Ahoy, gentle people, says Jens. Hello, Ranbui. Hello. And whatever you do, don't bump a hard drive while it's being accessed. That is why I mainly use SSDs. I have only I have one hard drive. That is 4 terabytes hard drive, and I don't even. It's I've barely moved my computer in a long time. The unit because I haven't had the need to. Last time I think I unplugged the front panel the front panel USB A plugs, but I have one USB-C port still plugged in on the front I/O, and I have my one this uh, stream cam attached to it, and I've been thinking of switching my internal HDD to possibly to an internal SSD, to an equivalent SSD, internal SSD, but that SSDs with large capacity tend to cost a bit more. So I don't know, because let me get you a price for that over SATA SSDs. Interesting. Okay. Capacity. Let's see, over 400. I can tell you that the cheapest 4 terabyte SATA SSD would cost me a 4 terabyte 2.5 inch SATA SSD would cost me 337 euros and 99 cents. So it's not cheap. That is why when it comes to the bulk of my storage, I prefer using either HDD or several smaller SSDs, but springing out things out thin could be, annoying versus just finding everything in one place. So who knows? And I need a backup disk anyway. I might as well just buy another external another internal another internal SSD and find a case for it. So let's see. Okay. By the way, is the sound okay? Is the sound okay as of right now? Okay. So the actual beef I have for today, even though I'm a vegetarian. What was? Oops, wrong. Yeah. So Idaho House has passed a bill with clear numbers that bans gender-affirming medical care for minors, that is under the age of 18. And of course, this was ran by Republicans, and it was part. The vote went um, pretty much along the party lines. However, there was one Republican who voted against this bill. Let's see. Said this Republican voting no. Matthew Bundy of Mountain Home said he voted against it because it did not include a strong enough guarantee that transgender kids and their families would still have access to counseling. So yeah, why not? I mean, they do. Oh, an external USB case for 3.5 inch HDD SSD. Well, those ones do exist. The HDDs that are uh 2.5 inch. That's 100 a Seagate Barracuda 2.5 inch HDD that is 5 terabytes and is €142, and for 2 terabytes it's two uh €72. Yeah, so there we have it, and that it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get that 5 terabyte. But yeah, anyway. Let's see. Let's take the article up from there. So basically, if a doctor, a medical doctor, why don't I have my chat box travels? Uh, oh, there it is. Okay. So basically, all physicians would be subject to criminal charges if they subscribe puberty blockers, hormone treatment, or transition-related surgery to minors. However, I should um, mention that did the proponents of the bill did acknowledge that gender-affirming surgery on minors is not currently performed in Idaho. So basically, they proactively prohibited something that isn't even happening yet, and probably will not happen in many years to come. I the only probably only one that I can think of who had uh, sex reassignment surgery as a minor was a German pop singer, Kim Petras, and that was like, I don't know, many years ago. I think she's 26. She's well into her 20s now. They do acknowledge that they uh, so a bill criminalizing gender-affirming healthcare for minors overwhelmingly passed Idaho House on Thursday. Idaho House Thursday, despite warnings that it would increase, would likely increase the rates of suicide among teens. Felony charges for physicians and one of several targeting attempts for, and it's um, a Republican from Nampa County, Bruce Skog, probably a Scandinavian of Scandinavian descent, said they need to protect the children. Well, had he read the papers, any study whatsoever, anything actually scientific, I'm not talking about Kent Hovind, uh, Ken Ham, Answers in Genesis, Institute for Creation Research, any of those. If you read actual scientific papers, you would know that actually these gender reaffirming medical care is necessary to protect the children. And puberty blockers, for example, well, hormone treatment causes obviously a bit more, so shall we say, permanent results. For example, for trans feminines, it causes boobage. Like for me, it caused some boobage to grow. For trans boys, lowering or voice lowering, maybe some body hair, facial hair, and so forth. But it's again said by every major medical organization, like such as American Medical Association, American Academics of Pediatrics, and American Psychiatric Association support gender-affirming care, and they all say the same thing. Providing that the gender-affirming care, you increase the welfare of trans trans youth. And they've Republicans have pushed it, but this it's like throwing gasoline on the problem. So and teens already self harm and take their own lives at a very high rate, and especially trans youth, not among all people. Trans feminines of color are also targeted very harshly in this one. And it's as the CEO of Planned Parenthood, Great Northwest, Hawaii, Indiana, Kentucky, says the CEO says it's time sensitive, obviously, to get the timing right when you start to see the puberty blockers and life saving. It saves lives. Um, Obviously, or whatever they try to justify it with is just wrong. Okay. Um, they one of these bills died in the Senate, in Idaho Senate, because at the time the Idaho Senate Republicans issued a statement saying they strongly oppose gender affirming surgery for children, which obviously doesn't happen and has never happened and probably will never happen again in the future. Probably, who knows? Um, but um, they feared that the bill could affect medically necessary care for non-transgender kids and did not want to interfere with parents' decision making authority, medical decision making authority. Yes, because there are conditions that where certain puberty blockers and puberty blocker type uh, treatments and certain types of hormonal care, like for example, there is a thing called delayed puberty. So basically, this kind of bill would criminalize giving kids these types of hormones that would spark the cisgender child's natural um, natural puberty if it doesn't if a girl's period doesn't begin within a reasonable time. I think it's maybe, but if a girl's period doesn't start by the age of 16, and maybe boys' puberty before the age of 15 or 16, both, so they can, they would, this kind of treatments would be criminalized if they were to ban all kinds of um, these all kinds of gender affirming care, because that would uh, pass as gender affirming care because it's providing hormone treatment for a minor. So that is just absolutely ridiculous, don't you think? Um, they are making some other changes in the legislation. There's parents could sue libraries and public schools for $10,000 per student per book, uh, or for having books that are deemed quote unquote harmful to minors, that is made available to their child under another bill. This has been a, a thing um, previously in other states, like Florida. I think it's been Texas, Florida and Texas at least. So, um, and some others are on their way to the legislature. So, for example, one would restrict transgender kids' school bathroom access. Yeah, the bathroom bills by barring them from locker rooms, changing facilities and bathrooms matching their gender, and forcing them to go to toilets in accordance with their sex assigned at birth, and not the toilets that would match their social gender, or if they've already transitioned their current, what they look like. If a trans girl has, boobage, etc., etc., looks like a girl, they have to go to the boys' bathroom. And if a trans boy has, low boys, bit of beard growth, arm hair, etc., looks like a dude, 100% passing, he would have to go to the girls' bathroom. So another bill would limit sex ed in grade school and prohibits schools from discussing human sexuality, gender identity, sexual or sexual orientation before fifth grade. Well, I would assume where I went to school in Finland, at least this was like uh, 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. Damn, I'm that old. Come on, seriously. Uh, yeah, we weren't the curriculum what back then, and I think it's still the same, that the official state curriculum that all public and private schools must follow. It's the same for everyone, no fuzzing about. We have very few private schools. There's like one private school in Helsinki, the capital with 650,000 inhabitants. So it's a private school, but it doesn't cost anything extra. There's some other financial. There are no tuition fees because all education in Finland is free of charge from daycare to university. So, but there is some stuff going on with the financing, and private schools are exceedingly rare in Finland. It's just not a thing. But in the national curriculum, which every student goes through, the sex ed starts on fifth grade anyway. So in Finland, I have no idea how would go in in any other country, but in Finland, the actual official curriculum the official curriculum starts the sex ed at some level at the fifth grade. And mind you, in Finland, kids start school at the age of 7. So that would be kids would be 12, 11, 12 years old at that at that yeah, it would be 11 and 12-year olds. So kids would turn 11 and the year they start fifth grade, the year they start fifth grade, and 12 when they end the following year. So we go to school at 7 and leave primary school. It's 6 years. Do it at 7 at 13, and then we go to secondary school 3 years, and then high school or vocational college 3 years. And after that, master's degree, we go to university. Master's, if we want, we go to university where we can get anything from bachelor's to master's degree. But we wouldn't start sex ed until fifth grade anyway. So I don't see the problem with. But it's okay. But sex ed itself, yeah, why not? But gender identity and sexual orientation, yeah, nowadays they do talk about it in schools. I know because my ex partner has kids, and I know that in elementary and secondary school they did. In primary school they did talk about sexual orientation and gender identity to quite young kids. So that is by no means um, a bad thing, I don't think. And it would be that it would, they think it would somehow harm the kids, but I don't think so. Um, and the bill printed Monday could require schools to inform parents if there's a change in students' quote unquote mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being, perhaps including if the student discloses they're gay or transgender. Yes, and then and when the parents find out, off they go, off they go to conversion therapy. Boom. And that is obviously a bad thing. All this is bad. All their reasoning is faulty. I mean, there's no way you could ever sensibly uh, sensibly justify anything like this because it's so horribly wrong. I don't get it. Any comments on this one? I feel I feel like it's been just me ranting. So it's I wanna hear your thoughts. I wanna hear your thoughts about it. Oh, okay. Well, it's all that is just beyond me. It's really weird. All this, the reasoning is so faulty. It's so faulty that it debunks itself. Yeah, just but they want to make it legal for minors to carry guns. Yes. Mm. Which reminds me, there's a meme. Um, okay, so let's see. Media. I want to right to bear arms. I just have to show you this. Well, there you go. Everyone has the right to bear arms. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dr. Nimrod. Moi. So, what do you think of that? What do I think of that? Nimrod, how are you? There is some intensive gaming going on there behind my left shoulder. Anyway, guess what? I quit my job. Well, not really. I'm just transferring to another unit. So, so technically, I didn't. Oh, Katie Montgomery, but I'm more interesting. Thank you very much. I think Katie Montgomery is interesting, but I'm quite um, ta- I'm quite taken. I take it as an honor to be considered more uh, interesting than Katie Montgomery. But hey, that is how it goes somehow. Every now and then, every now and then, I guess. Okay, so yay for you. How is workplace injury? She is very good, but you win. Thank you. My workplace injury. Oh yes. I almost forgot, but I have some news for you, dear people. Uh, there will be potential changes to my um, schedule for scheduled uh, content because will I need to have surgery on my left shoulder. It's so broken in it's broken it I mean not as in broken bones, but it's broken in so many places that I need to have surgery on the 16th of March, and from then on, I will be getting. Are you getting a bionic arm installed? I would hope so. Uh, but at least I will get titanium screws. They'll remove a ligament. I think they'll permanently remove a ligament and then stitch together things. But I'll be sleeping through the entire thing, so who knows if they put some chips into my arm and it will become a bionic arm. Who knows? Maybe they'll put some microchips. Maybe they'll put a microchip on my shoulder, and then can make. Okay, not really. But I'll be. But yeah, I'll be um, sleeping through the entire thing. I've had similar operation on my right shoulder because I was when I was young and crazy. I did judo for many years, and I got my right shoulder, popped out and went back, and it was operated when I was awake, while I was awake. But this operation will be more complicated. Yeah, it's fucked in other words. Yeah, but at least my employers, my employer's insurance company will be paying for all the fun. So I don't have to wait for I don't have to wait for my I yeah I you've fucked up both wrists and I got both shoulders for fuck's sake. Yeah. At least I don't have to I didn't have to wait for I didn't have to be in the queue to get the MRI and the surgery in the public sector because that would take months. But not that it not that they wouldn't have qualified doctors to do it, but it would take a long time. So my employer's insurance company pays all the fun. So there's entire thing with the doctor's fees, the MRI. The MRI alone, they paid like 700 or 800 euros for it. Doctor's appointments, medicine. It's been so far. It's been I don't know, well over 1,000 euros that they've had to pay plus the salary, and they'll have to pay my salary for the three weeks that I'll be gone after the surgery. So and they'll pay the surgery. So it's and then the rehab with a physiotherapist and the checkups with the surgeon. So it's up to maybe 15,000 euros, at least 15,000 euros, at least a good 15,000 euros that they'll have to pay up. But that's what the insurance companies are for, you know. That's what you pay who knows how much for your insurance for who knows how many years. But then when something like this happens, you get the treatment. But the thing is that they could have just said that they could have refused the MRI. And if they and even if they paid it, and even if they paid it, they could have said, "Yep, uh, yeah." Nimrod says more Yokonen. I hope that spelled that right. Uh, you got one letter wrong. So let's say you did let's say you did write it correct, spell it correctly. Um, I have an email. Strange things coming to my email. Oh, it's Patreon. Okay. So there's been updates on my phone. Luckily, it hasn't been going ding ding too much. Ooh, by the way, I have an interesting um uh ringtone. It's moi jokainen. It's uh JOK jokainen. You spell, yeah, an additional. You should, the four last letters are India November Echo November. So let me. It's no matter. Yes, I have.
Round, round, the earth is round. Smart people found that the earth is round.
Yeah,
There's
it's my ringtone.
found. Don't fool around. The data sound. The earth is round. Like an apple or a melon being sailed by a pigeon. Is this so true? What the hell? What's wrong with you?
There we go. I've had that ringtone for a very long time. I think since it was pop. I think I've had it since that song was published in the first place. So it's been a couple of years. So anyway, it's been 42 minutes, and I'm way, way on a sidetrack. Anyway, here. Oh, there's beer video coming. I just made a beer video yesterday, so there's and that will be out in 3 weeks from now. I have scheduled for this coming next week. Sorry, this week, next week, and the week after. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. UK time. You've been here with Stefan, my other co-host, and Bertil. Yes. And obviously, I have the little lamb I got from Jens when we met in Berlin last year. It was very good. It was a very good time. Very nice few hours that we spent in Berlin. But without further ado, I will see you next time on Friday with a new episode of a Random Friday. Until then, bye.